Welcome to Beginner's Guide to Low-Cost, High-Impact Immersive Learning Strategies in Higher Ed. My name is Maikel Alendy. I am the Learning Design Innovation Manager here with FIU Online. And I'm also a professor with the Honors College. I teach a hybrid course and a fully online course. My backgrounds are in anthropology, business, and neuroscience. I have the fortunate privilege to work with excellent faculty, and I'd like to, so this is a co-presentation, but I'll be doing the part of the presenting. I've given him the harder part of answering all of those tough questions you have, and that's Rodolfo Rigo. This entire initiative would not be where it is right now if it wasn't for the copious amounts of hours we put into meetings, into redesigning entire classes and assignments. So let's jump right into it. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about FIU because most of you know we are a very big school and we're very diverse. And because of those factors, we have to take into account not only the learning impact of the strategies we deploy in our courses, but also the cost. And that is why my faculty, sitting right there, approached me and said, hey, Maikel, we got to do something about these problems that we have in our online courses because the future is all about this online move. I got to get more courses online. So what I want to show you is this presentation is actually 2 years worth of work here at FIU. So for the first part, we're going to go back to the future, because we're going to talk about the things that we did the first year we started, and then what we had hoped to accomplish in the following year, and then we'll share what we have. So the first thing that many of you think about when you're thinking about VR, or maybe you've come across, is Google Cardboard. And this is a very simple solution to problems in that VR realm. How we normally approach our teaching strategies is we think about a problem and how we're going to solve it. So, not being a rock scientist, I was working with my faculty member and I said, hey, what is a problem that you all have, a trouble, a challenge with your students? And he said, well, they don't seem to grasp the whole topographic maps. I called them topographic. Apparently, I don't have the degree in it, so I was wrong. And he said that they're having issues kind of visualizing this. You can look at these. Some of you remember these from like 7th grade, maybe. It tells you the depressions and the inclines of certain formations. And just by looking at this, you can imagine that might be a difficult concept to master. So, yes, it's connected. So, me being an avid millennial, realized that I spend so much time on YouTube, maybe there's something that I'm doing there that could help. Fortunately, there was, and this professor also got the idea to use videos from people who have uploaded their 360 videos in these various environments that students could actually see what these things look like from the perspective of someone who's been there. They just put the Google Cardboard glasses on, open YouTube on their phone, hit a VR goggle specification there, and they were able to literally stand at a mountain peak, look over towards the grass, study how the topographic map actually looked like from the perspective of someone who was actually there. Now, you could have moved that around, but the real big W here is that that entire experience cost us $15. Because that's all a Google Cardboard viewer costs. And the technology that we used in order to access all these points around the globe is Google Earth. You might remember Google Earth from that really creepy application that you were sure was taking pictures of your father when he was standing in the backyard one time, or who was ever parking in the driveway. We found a way to use it for our students that really just kind of blew their minds. Now, there's parts of this that are simulated, but normally when you take it to a spot where you would like to see a view, that takes you to a 360 photo of exactly what that area really looks like. You put Google Cardboard goggles on, you go into the area that's simply like this, and that is an experience that the students want to stay in more than talking about anything else. So that was year one, right? That was one of the things we did. The second is that you all are superstars and specialists, and you care so much about what you do. Hurricanes had hit, I believe, 2017, and we wanted to go down to the Keys and document some of this some of the damage, some of the environmental areas for our students. So we got a 360 camera, we got a willing or unwilling participant, and we recorded a 360 video. What I want to show you here isn't what a 360 video looks like. What I want to show you are some of the best practices that we came up with for 360 video. So you'll hear that wonderful voice in the background. That's Rudy's voice right there. This is blocking my ability to scrub. But what you already saw at first was students don't stay in one environment for too long. And the reason we do that is to ensure that students or a learner, they're not getting too disoriented in it. And something we have to think about very clearly here is do not use 360 video when a video would suffice. 360 video for instructional impact should be one that requires a student to actually engage in the 360 environment. So we would move from area to area so that our students weren't at home looking through in this video and then not listening, not looking at it and just looking around, getting bored. So that was really important. We would move from one environment to the next fairly quickly, and we also use directional cues to help our viewers look at what we were pointing at. Now, that's some post-production stuff that we can get in a little bit technicalities later, but what I would like to show you is how much it cost to do this. In total, we spent anywhere from $100 to $300, and you might say that's crazy. Let me tell you why. One, depending on the camera you use and the quality you're gonna get, you'll be closer to that 100 range. We were out by the 300 range, and we used YouTube to host our videos, a free platform that takes care of that for you. Additionally, most of these 360 cameras, they come with free software to edit your videos in already. So very affordable, really high impact, so much so that the state park asked for a partnership and to use this video to host on their own website. The next item that we needed to get was photogrammetry, hands-on technically. Apparently, it's really expensive to secure certain rock samples and also transport them and get them around. We also worked with a professor in evolutionary biology who wanted to get some skulls scanned and to his online students. So, as you can imagine, this guy lived in England. Getting these skulls to our students or trying to get our online students to handle them was really difficult. So what we did is we bought a device that latched onto an iPad Pro and you hand scanned the skull. That device cost us around $379. I'm going to skip this one really quick. And we were able to scan all of these products and then host them in our Blackboard platform at first, and then embed them into Canvas. It cost a total of $379. Now FIU Online has a whole studio dedicated to doing this for far less than this. But it was a really great way to bring expensive products, difficult products to our online students. Again, this was year one, right? We weren't going too crazy. So at the end of year one, this was the slide that Rudy and I finished our presentation with when we presented at what we were doing in Miami at a conference in San Jose. We said, in the future, we hope we're going to find a way to maybe make interactive 360 images, right? Because if we could put a student in a classroom, an education student like this in a classroom, and then maybe teach them how to read the faces of individuals, someone who's really excited, someone who's falling asleep during your lecture, or maybe, you know, this is where you find items like that. That would be a really powerful tool. Secondly, we were like, you know what? We might have to pay for a developer or find some kind of tool that would give us an interactive 360 video or allow us, the faculty, to create some VR on our own, because that's how you can really customize learning in your course. And then last but not least, because everybody was asking me for it, augmented reality. I'll be honest, 2 years ago, I could not see the legitimate value of augmented reality in or for an online student. So that was the slide that we finished with, and at that same conference, Rudy actually discovered a tool that helps create 360 images titled Seekpeek. We're currently using Seekpeek as a way to truly get interactive documents into a course. It's very affordable. For a year subscription for this, it's about 170 some odd dollars. It allows you to place PDFs, videos, even port other 360 images within a 360 image. It's very impactful. And currently we're using it for training purposes in addition to learning material. So here is an example of one of the 360 Seekpeek images we've created. You can have a setting that once learners get into the environment, it automatically rotates. All I want to show you is these are images, they're videos, but right here, I can walk through our student preserve and go to an entirely different area, add really neat little animations. And this process actually came to us from a faculty who put this together on his own with no training. Very easy, very intuitive, very affordable, and extremely impactful. He's using it in many ways right now. We're gonna go back to the presentation to show you that. And one of the ways is to orient students to a special room in the class, in their department that hosts some really expensive materials and really vital materials. But now students can actually walk into the room through this 360 image, find where things are located before they actually have to come on campus and use it. What we're hoping we can use this for in the future is training for jobs. Imagine getting a learner, having them prepped before they get to a place by actually walking through it in this interactive image, 360 image. Next, augmented reality. Remember how I said there was no way that I couldn't realize a way that we would need to use AR? Well, very quickly I realized that our OER initiative for textbooks was lacking in two things. The first were test questions. Unfortunately, I can't help you with that one, right? I'm not a subject matter expert. That's not true. I can't help you with that one. I do have access to certain test spec resources, but it doesn't always apply to every course. But the second was that you lose all those cool supplemental materials that come along with your textbook. So we discovered a tool called Zapper AR. And what we decided to first use it for was to bring textbooks to life. How we've used this is in a biology course, we've allowed certain triggers on the pages on their computers to actually students to hold up their phone, scan the page. So there's no QR code. It's literally what the page on the textbook looks like. And it will pop up either a question, a diagram, or, oh, this is not the question, right here. Or an item that they can pin on the ground and walk around with and examine. What we wanted to do is we wanted to bring this OER material, this textbook, to life and give them more than what was just in there. What we've seen this do is really increase student engagement with their text, right? That's crazy to us. They're doing more with their text than just reading it now, or honestly, ignoring it. We have one professor who actually every 3 days allows for students to get extra credit if they go into the text, into their course, and use one of the AR features to access a test question. If they answer those questions, they get extra credit points on the test, not on the class, on the test. He didn't want it to affect their final grade that much. But what that means is that they have to be in that textbook every 3 days, logging into the course, using their phone, seeing these diagrams in order to get more engagement. He's found, and we're going to actually present some of this research in our FIU online conference, he has found that increased engagement has increased overall student achievement in the course, which, no duh, right? They spend more time in the class, they're going to do better in the class. We're using AR to activize reading material. That's not a real word, but I thought it sounded cool. For progress assessment, so students in a math class, as they get to a certain area, they can use their phone to reveal the answer to a question instead of flip cards, right? When you've got a flip card, normally you just kind of click on it and be like, yeah, no, that makes sense, and move forward. The action of actually having your phone out, having to put something in and over, really gets the students to pause a little bit longer on thinking about that question before they access the answer. And most importantly, it's low cost. You can do this on your own. There's a 30-day free trial. There are instructional design experts that can help you out as well. And then after that, FIU Online is actually working on purchasing a bulk license, but you can purchase your own license for under $200 in a year. Nobody's freaking out that you can make augmented reality as an educator for under 200. That's okay. All right, 2019, I guess. Only it underwhelms the rest of the world. I'm not going to spend too much time on Google Maps. You're all familiar with it, but what I would like you to know is that immersive assignments don't just mean virtual reality, augmented reality, really cool stuff. It also gives you an opportunity to really make an impactful contribution to what everyday learners are doing. Our Earth and Environment faculty uploaded images, 360 images, of important geographical areas to Google Maps. Some of those got upwards to almost 300,000 views. They're using that as a graduate student recruitment tool to say, hey, look, this is the type of things we do here, and these are the type of things you can expect when you come here. Additionally, we use that as a way to engage the community, right? These are the things that you want to see, the places you want to go. We're uploading images of natural parks, of state parks, not just beaches and areas that they already see. We are contributing to the knowledge, you as the experts, that the world has access to. And Google Maps is a whopping $0 to use your own account and upload 360 images to. Now, there are some limitations depending on the phone you're using. We suggest use a 360 camera or come to my office and just borrow mine for a while. Okay. When you get the slideshow, you can look at those other slides. Again, I have 48 slides, 30 minutes, and we had to play a Kahoot. So we're blitzing through this one. But the last thing I'd like to share with you all is Scenario VR. This is the tool that we were waiting for. Now, I'll put an asterisk on it and say it's not perfect, but it's so powerful. With this tool, you can import 360 videos and actually put assessment questions over them. They're using it to train firefighters in mass casualty incidences, and we here at FIU have actually partnered with nursing to create a mass casualty incident VR experience. So it's a very robust tool. It should be used to replace assessments because it is SCORM compatible, which means it will report how students did into the grade book. Y'all aren't excited for anything, it's killing me. All right, that's fine. This solution shouldn't just be used because it's cool. This should be used when you have a location-centered problem. We have nurses all across the world who are taking their online courses to achieve the certification. Many of them have very limited time that they can go to a clinic or that they can go to certain locations. And they have to schedule time with a nurse at a hospital at that location. So it's not only the limitations of their schedule, it's the limitation of somebody else's schedule. What really helps are we designed two experiences. One for a mass casualty incident, primarily because we're happy that those won't happen regularly so they don't get a lot of practice with it. But the second was emergency room management. How to deal with a parent that's grieving or a very loud patient and how to kind of manage and go through all of that. I will say this tool is great, but it has a high learning curve. It's not something you're gonna pick up and master in a day, in a week. It's gonna take you about a week and a half. And what you're really gonna spend more time on with this tool is figuring out how to decompress the video down so that you can upload it and it won't blow up Canvas. Please don't break Canvas. Sorry? So MR is mixed reality. The reason that I stated that is because Scenario VR allows you to put virtual reality into a 360 video. Oh, I'm over time. I'm at 4, so I'm going to use just one more minute to show you. This is what the virtual reality kind of soft landing page looks like. We created this, we edited this, and then it goes into a 360 video. That's why this isn't just VR, it's mixed reality. Some things to think of when you're doing 360 videos for these types of assessments. Do walkthroughs. Lighting is important, especially with a diverse cast. Second, bring extra batteries. 360 cameras apparently die. Third, keep your videos short. I don't know if you can notice this, but right there is a custodial staff who walked through our video. When you're recording a 360 video, many of us are kind of focusing on one area. It's literally all around you. So the shorter that you're recording, the more effective your video will be. And last but not least, quality, quality, quality. I thought this picture would be burned in your mind so that you'd remember this. A 360 camera, whatever picture quality it takes, it degrades the video quality. So I want to really quickly go over the softwares. Scenario VR for 360 videos and assessments, Zapper for AR artifacts, Seekpeek for 360 images. Hold on, H5P, it will be piloting at FIU this semester and next. That might be also a really great alternative for that. If you teach fully online, reach out to your ID so they can reach out to me. Your hardware that we want to use, Samsung Gear 360, really affordable. Not that great for videos. Ricoh Theta, excellent images. Not so great on video unless you get the more expensive brand. The one we suggest is the Insta360 One X and the GoPro Fusion. GoPro Fusion's waterproof. It's Miami, it rains a lot, you probably want that one. Its stitching though for the videos isn't as smooth, so the Insta360 One X is your best bet. And just last but not least, the reason these were low cost is because our process was intentional. What we did is we replaced textbook material in these courses with OER material, and that afforded us the ability to use the funds for either lab fees or for student fees to go towards their viewers or for the department to purchase some of this equipment. And last but not least, this is the slide I'm finishing off with this year. So hopefully next year what I'll show you are examples of geocaching, which is basically digital assisted treasure hunts. Some directed videos where students can go through a VR environment and then rewind their experience and try it again. And last but not least, we are a real university, so we need some research. This is a little bit too new in higher education, so we're going to try to gather some of that research so that you all can go to your departments or that you can consider if this is an effective tool for you to use. I want to get to this last slide here. This is why we do it, right? They're enjoying learning about the material right there. They're coming after class. This is why we do all of this. Because students are motivated to learn. And when they're motivated to learn, the thing that you went to school forever for to get a master's and a PhD in, then becomes a little bit more valuable, and you're not the only crazy person who likes it. Here is a QR code to get this presentation. I know I had to rush through that. 30 minutes isn't the best time to go through immersive strategies, but I'm right here in the Maikel building on the 6th floor. I can come to you if you would like. Rudy and I, we do private consultations one-on-one with faculty. We are the immersive guru. No. You can feel free to email either of us at Alendy@FIU or rrigo@fiu.edu. That tiny URL will take you to this presentation where you can actually see samples of all of these assignments and get all those software and hardware cues right there. I'm over time, but do you have any questions?
I love this and it's great, but I'm also thinking, do you see this applying into a non-outside environment? Like, I was thinking career pathing. Hey, like you're walking through, I don't know if it's an office suite, right, and here's your like student leadership, here's your internship.
Yep. I actually, we put some of this stuff on our department website as well. So recently I did a tour for graduate students. For some of those rooms. So we're actually, one other thing that we're going to try to do with that augmented reality is we just recently purchased a new scanning electron microscope. And students to train on that is, since it's being used by other universities, that downtime or that uptime, however you want to put it, does get a little costly. So before the students actually get on the machine and start using it, that's one option that we wanted to do. But on our website, like I said, if you go to FIU Earth and Environment, just type that in and scroll down to multimedia, you'll see how I'm actually using it for the general public.
Yeah.
And one thing about Seekpeek is they do track how many views you're getting, where people are looking, how many times they're clicking, you know, so you could really start to develop how you want everybody to interact with it. So like Maikel said, there's still a lot of that research to go.
Yeah.
And
they're using it for HR and orientations at other universities as well. So
I think
those are all inside.
This semester I just put it out in our Earth Science course to supplement the room that students go into when they're taking the lab. So students in the Earth Science lecture actually go into the same lab that the students go into and access all the content from the text.